Hello everybody, it's Sephiroth1204 for another episode of Legend of Heroes Trails of the Sky 2nd Chapter, brought to you by MuchGames.ca. In the last episode, we finished up everything we needed to do in Rolent. We got all the quests done, and now I guess it's time for us to head onward. We're actually going to start Chapter 5. We're going to head to Bose. So let's do that. Let's go meet up with all the bozos. And there's the button. I know how to play this game. I wanted Agate and Olivia in my party, right? Yeah. It was great with having them on those quests. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Hey Estelle, heading out already? You just came home. Sure you can't stay around for a while? Yeah, sorry, there's kind of a lot going on. Once our current job's done, I totally intend to come back and take a load off for a while. You really should, we'll be waiting. Anyway, your ticket's already been paid for by Aina. Ready to check in? And as always, we should wait for the ship once we check in. Do you have any other business in Rome before we go? No, let's fly. Alright then. I'll give the guildhouse a ring and call the other members of your team. Estelle's team checked in for their flight and wait for the airship. I like the airship things between chapters where you just get to talk with everybody a little bit. I miss this music. Hey. I see, so now we have a gospel influencing people's minds, using the fog's particulate matter as a medium to exert mental control over a large area. Well, that settles one question at least. Excuse me, Professor. Cassius, you old dog, good timing. Escaped Leston, did you? Yes, I finally managed to finish a bit of work. I thought I would stop by and see how you're holding up. What's this? A report from your granddaughter? Yes, just arrived express from Rolent. Thanks to Tita's report, I'm quite certain of my theory now. About the gospel, I'm assuming? Yes, though it's ultimately still a hypothesis at this point. I've gone over it again and again, both on paper and with the capel, though, so I'm reasonably sure of this. Shall I go over it? Absolutely. Right then. So, what we've been calling the Gospel's orbital shutdown phenomena. Tell me, what do you think it is, based on what you've seen and heard? It's an effect that occurs to any orbital device located near an active gospel, chaining from one device to another. And it renders these devices inert while the gospel is active. That's how it seems to me, at least. Half right, half wrong. What you're describing is closer to the orbital arch anticept. That shorts out the internal cord circuits of an orbment to temporarily suspend its functionality. The phenomenon generated by a gospel, however, is fundamentally different. It steals all the orbital energy formed in orbment down to its very last joule. So it's more of an orbital absorption phenomenon. Yes, to make a comparison to combustion engines, like siphoning out the petrol. Huh. But wait, unless I badly misunderstood physics, that means the gospel should absorb and store all that power, correct? Good eye, lad, you've noticed a very important fact. So I measured a gospel after it absorbs energy, but the gospel does not actually hold any of it. Not even a single EP's worth. Is it possible the energy is being vented into the wider environment? No, not at all. The energy disappears, completely, utterly, and quite impossibly thanks to thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. Sorry, that's a Steven George reference. Furthermore, these new gospels the Stills group has been encountering, every time they've encountered, they cause unbelievable phenomena that even our best orbital engineering can't explain. It's unclear how they're causing such effects, but I can say one thing with confidence. And that is? They're too small. I can say with absolute certainty that any device enabling such massive effects could not fit into the palm of one's hand. Even if the society somehow possessed technology centuries ahead of our own, nothing that small should contain that much potential energy. I think I'm starting to see where this is going. You're saying the Gospels must be terminals then, access points of some sort? Exactly. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. They send the energy somewhere. The only function the Gospel unit itself has is an ability to manifest an abnormal warp in the local orbital field. That warp then resonates with any local orbital devices, expands and draws energy from the devices. The energy then disappears through the warp. Well, no, it does not disappear. It's sent elsewhere. And whatever is located elsewhere is capable of causing the impossible effects we've seen. You know, I hope I'm misunderstanding this. I'm afraid you get a passing grade here, old friend. The society can use the Gospels to draw out and spread the power of whatever this thing is. Huh. Spreading the influence of mysterious force, no wonder the society named them Gospels. In that case, the nature of this thing bothers me. As you said, even if it's an ornament out of the purest fiction, or... As far as that goes, I'm afraid I have no real clue. I thought of a number of possibilities, but that would be pure speculation at this point. Now, Cassius, I'll ask you the same question I asked you 10 years ago. We're in quite the pickle. What do you need me to do? The exact same words as when I asked you to develop the patrol airship. Well then... The key, I think, must lie in this warp the Gospel creates. Russell, can you develop some kind of plan or method of stopping the resonance, the spread? I thought you asked that. I'm just about done with my current invention anyway. I'll get to work as soon as I'm done with that. The plot thickens, and very interesting. Ah, this is Celia. Let's talk to people. Bose has been absolutely peaceful for a while now, it seems. Even the liberal news says nothing of notes happened. That's something to be happy about, at least. Bose Market is a dreamland for anyone who likes to shop. I've heard the manager of the Adel department store is a fan of the Bose Market. Okay, what's up, buddy?
Ah, Estelle, at last we return to Bose, the land laden with memories of our first meeting. It makes my heart swell to return to a place of such sweet nostalgia.
Shocking as it may be, I kinda have to agree on the heart-swelling memories bit. Although, as I remember, you were kinda rude back then. You said I wasn't attractive and made fun of me like a schoolboy.
You must understand me, my fair Rose. I would only display such cute, bashful behavior in order to hide feelings of love unabated.
Yeah, I bet that's it exactly. You sure didn't waste any time putting the moves on Shara, as I remember, or Joshua.
Well, putting that aside, as you stand now, your beauty is incomparable to what it was then. Yours is a supple, healthy beauty with a maiden's gentle virtue. Indeed, you have grown, Estelle.
Thank you. Though when you put it that way, it's kind of embarrassing. Please don't say it like that again.
There is no shame to be had in virtue, Estelle. Still, you have only begun to climb the ladder of adulthood. Should you wish to ascend even higher, I would be more than happy to assist you.
No, thank you. If I was ever in a position to ask anyone about that sort of thing, I'd be a million times better off asking Shara.
Ah, a pity, the things I could teach. Oh, Shara would be the one to... Ah.
I'll remind you that I have a very large stick.
Buddy. Speaking of Bose, I remember the lovely mayor and her handmaiden with the cool gaze. Oh, I thrill at the thought of meeting them again.
Oh boy. Really, child, my daughter keeps saying she wants to eat at the Aunt Rose restaurant in Bose. It must be nice to be a child, so innocent, so unaware of prices.
Oh, Bose has a really famous restaurant in it. Oh, I know. Mommy, let's go eat there.
Oh boy. Oh, hello, miss. We're very sorry for the delays at Rolent. I'm afraid merely launching into that fog would have been incredibly dangerous. My friend's one of the guards at Hawken Gate, and let me tell you, the existence of the Empire weighs more heavily on the minds of our troops than anyone else. Ironically, I think our military band will welcome the non-aggression pact more than the rest of us.
Oh, hi, still walking around?
Sorta, yeah. Oh, yeah, Tina, I was wondering, did you dream at all when we were put to sleep?
Yeah, I did. It was a dream where Mom and Dad came home. And Mom and Grandpa got into a loving fist fight for the first time in forever.
Oh, I see. That still sounds like a really nice dream.
Yeah, you showed up, of course, Estelle.
Wait, I did?
Uh-huh, after Mom and Dad came home, you and Joshua and Agate all came by to visit. Then Grandpa suggested we all take a trip to the hot springs in Elmo.
That really does sound like a fun dream. Yeah, and now we just gotta make that dream come true.
Yeah. Oh, have you been to Revenue Village?
Yeah, I stopped there once on a job. That's Agate's hometown, right?
Uh-huh, he has a little sister named Misha living there. Agate goes back pretty often, I think, at least once a year to say hello to her.
Oh, right. Agate's little sister, huh? Must be hard for the poor girl having such an antisocial lump for a brother.
Estelle, that's not nice. Agate can be, blunt, but he's also really nice.
Yeah. He's just kind of clumsy and a little embarrassed, to be honest.
You know, I bet Misha's a really good person. Whenever Agate talks about her, his eyes turn so gentle.
Tita, what's wrong?
No, it's nothing. My heart just, felt kind of weird for a bit. I wonder why.
Somebody's a little bit jealous of Misha, I bet. Oh, what a cutie.
Misha, huh? I hope I can be your friend if we meet.
No. Hey, buddy. Hey, is something wrong, Agate? It's nothing. You still wandering around the ship? Yeah, basically. You're from Revenue in the Bose region, right? This will be your first time back home in a while, then. No. Was there just a bit to go chasing down the intelligence division guys. Hey, wait a second. Why are you assuming I'm going back home? Aw, don't be embarrassed, you big teddy bear. You got a little sister back in Revenue, right? You mentioned her once. You must be the biggest softie when it comes to her, huh? Hey. Oh yeah, where the heck in Revenue is your house anyway? I don't remember meeting any girls stowed out as Agate's little sister when we were there investigating the Sky Bandits. Was there a little girl with Louie? But no, too young. I gotta figure sister's gotta have your hair. I'll introduce you to Misha soon. Assuming we have some reason to visit anyway. Yeah, please do. And in that case, I'll have to bring Tita along too. Why would we have to do that? Tita's kind of attached to you in case you hadn't noticed. She'd be pretty let down if you didn't introduce her to your sister, you know? Oh, I get it. You don't want Misha and Tita to meet, huh? What? Now I get it. They might get together and get in lots of trouble like Tita did with Ren, or they might get jealous of each other. Being an older brother must be hard work. No, that's what you meant. Huh? Well, don't worry, I'll clean up any mess that happens. I've gotten pretty good at Tita herding. So you just go ahead and introduce those two crazy kids. I'll make sure nothing blows up. Yeah, thanks. I'll be counting on you for that. Okay. Let me just say this. I'm only heading back to Revenue once we settle with the job. Don't think you're gonna drag me out there or something. Oh, you jerk face. I was flying the ship! Ah! Okay, I've never seen the fog that thick, and the lights of the full beam couldn't burn through it flying, and that would have been impossible even for me. You're going a bit too far northwest. We don't want to get too close to the mountainside. I want to avoid turbulence if we can. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum. Yes, sir, understood. Correcting course to the south. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. This is awesome. Hi, ma'am. I've been riding a lot lately. The fog and Rolent was totally a kick, wasn't it? I took the chance to get out and enjoy some nature when we were docked. Well, that's good. Nobody having secret calls back here anymore? Good. I'm gonna talk to Cheryl last. Seems like the non-aggression pact was signed with no delays. I hope it leads to harmony between Liberal and its neighbors. Hope so too. Hello, miss. Thank you for your patronage. To your right, currently, you can view Nebel Valley. The fog around Rolent is cleared, but the area remains foggy year-round. Apparently, there's some very nice lodging at the edge of Valeria Lake. It's very popular with fishermen, I've heard. Yeah, we've been there. My, that fog was terrible, and then just dissipated in an instant. I've never seen such strange fog in all my days. Estelle, for a walk again? Yeah, more or less. More importantly, I'm sorry. I didn't really open up about Joshua until the very end. Don't worry. Still, that girl with Joshua is one of the Sky Bandits, isn't she? Yeah, she's a cheeky, insulting little punk by the name of Josette Capua. He's also the single biggest tomboy I've ever laid eyes on, and people call me a tomboy sometimes. Pleh! I see.
She does, seem a bit charming from the photograph. She could be pretty cute if she keeps her mouth shut. She did manage to play a perfect upper crust girl when we first met her, too. I'm sorry? I still explained how she first met Josette at the mayor's residence in Rolent. Yeah, she was pretending to be a member of the academy. I see. That is impressively dexterous, if I may say so. Well, it doesn't make sense since she's apparently former Arbonian nobility. It does make sense since she's apparently former Arbonian nobility. Putting on a face like that is her specialty, I think. Peel away the layers, though, and like I said at the core, she's a cheeky, classless little punk. Still, from what I've heard, I can't really find cause to hate her. I suspect if we found a chance to talk, we might have a lot in common. Yeah, I can't see that happening. We'd slide off each other like oil and water. Our personalities don't fit together, trust me.
Maybe. Somebody's jealous of stuff.
Oh, Chloe, you're put to sleep with us back there. Did you have some kind of dream?
I did. It was during the 100 Days War.
I wonder if this... I guess this would change depending on your party, right? I wonder what everyone else's dreams were. During the war?
Oh, I see. That's when you were with Matron Teresa. Yes, I was in the care of Matron Teresa during the fighting. We lived together for some time. And...
what's wrong?
It's just that even though it was set 10 years ago, Clem and Jill both showed up. If I'd stayed in the dream long enough, perhaps even you and Joshua might have appeared.
Well, it's a dream for you. Coherence not guaranteed.
Very. Still, in hindsight, it was a little frightening.
Huh?
In the dream, I was happy. Very, very happy. I wanted everything to stay that way from the bottom of my heart. But that isn't right, is it? Simply wishing to escape reality in that way?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's always nice to have a happy dream, sure. But yeah, if you asked if I wanted to see that dream again, I'd be a little hesitant.
Yeah. The dangers of the gospel. I feel like we've gotten a real hint of them.
Indeed.
It's been ages since I've been to Bose, come to think of it. I think the last time was when Jill took me on a little shopping spree at Bose Market.
Oh, Estelle, good work this time. You're really grown as a bracer.
I'm still kind of a newbie, I think. Like, I'm not even remotely as good as with the staff as Dad.
Well, I don't think you should worry about Master Cassius much. S-rank bracers master their profession to a degree that they attain the unity of purpose all martial artists seek, after all. To be honest, I don't think I could attain such enlightenment even if I spent my whole life trying.
I see. I gotta admit, it's kind of hard for me to understand how incredible my dad is, but... Actually, Zen, you mentioned the whole unity of purpose idea to Chloe back at the castle. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I did. It's kind of tough to explain, to be honest. Well, here goes. Master Cassius was once such a transcendent master of his sword, he was given the title of Divine Blade. Today, though, he can wield a staff just as easily as the sword he spent his life training with. Why do you think that is?
He practiced really hard?
That's part of it, sure, but more than that, it's because he could instantly understand and relate the nature of staff combat to his previous experience. Something beyond what we call skill, above practicing forms and reflexes, above muscle memory. Think of it as a mental state where one can grasp the true nature of all things and control them at will. The whole concept is what we refer to as unity of purpose.
The true nature of all things, huh?
His plan to push back the Imperial Army during your war was the same, I bet. He understood the nature of war, of combat, so intrinsically, so instinctively, that he was able to construct the plan he did. There would be no one more fearsome as a foe.
I get it, I think. But that means that even my supposedly enlightened dad was beaten in some ways by the society. During the coup, he was lured out of the country for starters.
Yes. They almost certainly possess someone equal to Master Cassius. It's hard to know if whoever Low is or this professor, if it's whoever Low is or this professor, though.
Could it be the guy we know as Lawrence? He was pretty powerful.
I don't know. He is incredibly skilled, sure, but I doubt he could match up to Master Cassius. Besides, his chi, his soul, they did not have the unity of purpose, not in the way I have spoken of. He is a blade sharpened in one specific way by the coldest frost, tempered to perfection, untouched by anyone. That is the sense I got from him in the arena, at least.
Yeah, I get what you mean. He hasn't shown himself, but I figure he's got to be up to something. He did seem to have some kind of fixation on Joshua.
It wouldn't surprise me if they know each other from Joshua's days in the society. Between him, me, and Sherazard, we've all got some strange ties in our past to this group.
I wonder if this is the guidance of she who dwells above. Up next is Bose, the closest area to the Empire of Umbrella. I'd like to get a good look at the famous Hawken Gate sometime, if we can. We'll do that. Let's go outside and talk to Cheryl. Hello, Estelle. Hi, Cheris. This is where you went. Oh wait, do you want to be alone for a bit? Oh, this is unlike you, Estelle. Why so reserved? You want to ask about Luciola, right? Yeah. She says we met a long time ago, but I don't really remember her at all. I was wondering what she's like and if you could jog my memory. Let's see, where to begin then? We have to begin with her stage name, I suppose, Luciola, the Bewitching Belle. She could show her audience illusions by dancing while using bells and fans, thus bewitching them, you see. Hers was the centerpiece of performance, our little circus troupe, the one that really brought the audiences in. Illusions. Does she use an orbit to make them? No, she uses something she always called illusion magic, which is apparently some kind of very old, non-orbal art. Luciola was from a family with a tradition of working that art. Was? People who fall in with a traveling circus like ours tend to be one of two kinds. People who had cause to abandon their previous homes and families, or people who never had such things to begin with. Luciola was one of the former, and I was the latter. I was about 7 years old when Mr. Harvey and his band took me in. Back then, I was a little more than a street urchin living in the slums of a city. Pickpocketing, petty theft, there was little I wouldn't do to try to survive. The ones who reached out a hand to me were the troupe's leader, Mr. Harvey, and Luciola. They taught me, the little girl who couldn't trust anyone, the warmth of a family. And they taught me all sorts of skills that would let me earn a place for myself in the troupe. Dancing, beast handling, tower reading, Luciola taught me all of it. But then, 8 years ago, Mr. Harvey died in an accident. Without his leadership, we all just drifted apart and went our own ways. I've been planning on staying with Luciola, but soon after Mr. Harvey died, she simply told me, "There is something I must do," and vanished. Hopeless and lost for the first time in years, I turned to the one remaining man in the world whom I still trusted. As you might suspect, that was Cassius, who had already begun working as a bracer. You know the rest, I imagine. So that's what happened. I had no idea you'd gone through something like that. The reason I aimed to become a bracer at first was to improve myself. I wanted to be able to live and prosper on my own, show Luciola how far I'd come when she returned. But, well, it's been 8 years. Perhaps that was enough time to re-examine my reasons. Shara. Aw, don't make that face. Like Zin said, I don't intend to simply fight her without saying a word. I want to hear Luciola's story from her before doing anything. I have to know what possible reason what possible reason could have made her associate with this society. Yeah, that sounds good. I've got your back, Shara. I'll do anything I can to help. I know I can always count on you. Still, you've grown quite a bit, haven't you, Estelle? What? That's kind of sudden. I always thought of you as being exactly what I expect of Cassius's daughter. I don't think that's quite right or fair anymore, though. What do you mean? Your strength isn't quite the same as Cassius's. Cassius has a heart as deep as the ocean and strength like a relentless wave. But you, Estelle, your strength is like the sun. You shine and make others shine just by being near them. What? My Estelle, you shine like the sun. Yeah, that was what our mother said, right? I think that's why people are attracted to you so easily. That's what I like most about you, and I know Joshua felt the same way. I don't think you need to feel any pressure to live up to Cassius, is my point. Yeah. You really are my big sister, Shara. You always know how to encourage me. Thanks. You're very welcome. I'm not saying you should return the favor, mind, but you really should drink with me sometime. Now that you're a full bracer, you'd better learn to handle your liquor. How is booze related to... You know what, never mind, I don't want to know. I'll be back in my seat once I've enjoyed the wind a little more. Make sure you're all buckled in before we land, Estelle. I kinda said we don't get to hear what her dream was. Yeah, but Time to go. Yay, I miss the Bose music. And we get to meet all the bozos again, hooray.
Well, everyone, hello! Good work out there in Rolent. I forgot you existed. Ha! Silver Streak, the Heavy Blade, the Immovable, our Rising Star Rookie all together. Brings a tear to my eye, it does. Rising Star Rookie? You, of course. You're a little walking miracle who's managed to stop society in 4 different regions. That's been the gossip anyway. You got to be kidding! Saying I stopped anything is overstating it more than a little. They just ran off once their experiments were done.
You did handle yourself well in the Rolent case, Estelle. Don't sell yourself too short. I think you could be a little proud.
Yeah, but that was just a bunch of coincidences coming together and...
No need to get so embarrassed. You just need to live up to your reputation is all.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. You make it sound like a cakewalk. Anyway, all that aside, what's the situation like here in Bose?
There's been no sign of society whatsoever. No surprise, I suppose, since the Sky Bandits were caught, the Army's been patrolling... surprise, I suppose. Since the Sky Bandits were caught, the Army's been patrolling the region pretty heavily. One thing sticks out, though. There have been few too many dangerous monsters prowling around here these days.
Really? You know, I noticed that the last time I was here, Bose seems to usually have more wanted monsters than any other region. Why is that?
Most of it comes down to Bose being huge and filled with rough terrain. It makes it common to see monsters come down from the less inhabited areas. Thing is, though, we've had 10 cases just since the beginning of the month.
10? That is a lot. I'm guessing that it's kept Sting and the rest of the crew busy.
Yeah, and Kurt's team stopped by the other day to slay several of them. Be in your debt if you could take care of a few of them for us as well.
That strikes me as a good course of action. It's possible society is involved with this.
Yeah, and they could hurt someone if we just leave them alone, so we should get out there and take them down. Huh? Aggie, what's wrong? Yeah, what's up? You're really quiet.
No, it's nothing. Anyway, let's get out there and bring back some monster heads.
Pardon me?
Hey!
Mayor Maybell and Lila!
Good day.
Still, it's good to see you again.
I'm glad to see you are well.
Wow, it's seriously been forever. I think we last met at the Queen's birthday celebrations, right? Yes, it feels as though it's been ages. I've been hearing all about your exploits in the news, Estelle.
The accent did I give her?
That goes for everyone else as well. I'm glad to see you're all safe, especially you, Chloe. Are you on school break already? I ended taking a little time off early. It's good to see you again, Maybell. Huh? You two seem pretty familiar. Well, Mabel used to be a student at the academy. We met before she graduated. And I'm certainly glad we met too. I see. And Agate Krosner. It has been some time, sir.
Suppose so.
Hang on, Agate, Mayor Mabel, you know each other? Oh my, yes, I've relied on Miss Krosner a number of times for various jobs he could do. And 10 years ago... hey, Mayor... I forgot myself, pardon me. Regardless, I simply wish to stop by today to welcome you back. From the sound of things, you're pursuing an international criminal syndicate which threatens the safety of the entire country. An international criminal syndicate? Sometimes they feel more like a society of supervillains, but that's one way to think of them, yes. And as far as the city of Bose is concerned, the threat these criminals pose is not someone else's problem, it's everyone's. If I can do anything to assist you in your investigation, anything at all, you only need to ask. Thanks. If we need help, we'll definitely ask.
I'll be expecting a lot from you, Mayor.
Excellent. Now I'm afraid I must excuse myself here. Should anything come up, please come visit me at my residence. Pardon us.
Come on, Agate. Couldn't you have been a little more civil?
It's who I am. We ain't running a butler service here. Give me a break.
I can be kind of arrogant to people sometimes. It's usually polite towards clients, though. You were kind of short with the mayor, Agate.
You're imagining things. We're the point. I remember talking about us bringing back some monster heads. Lugrin, give us the breakdown.
Right, we have 3 cases outstanding. First, there's the Blade Fang stock in Rackrone Pass. We also got a ghost epitaph in the Nebel Valley. And finally, one Octobone raised in hell in the Ambrel Tower.
Okay, got those written down. Alright, Monster Slaying's a perfect task for my greatsword. I'll be taking charge this time around.
Huh?
Wow, you are a Bose native, my good heavy blade. You're probably the best suited out of all of us.
I have no objections.
Decided then. Go ahead and pick us a team, Estelle.
You're being suspiciously gung-ho about this, you know. I mean, if we're in Bose, then the story's obviously going to center around his sister, so he has to be in the party. Please form your party. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gonna leave Sherazard. As much as I love using her, we're gonna leave Sherazard aside this time. I did have Olivier and I wanted to use. Even though Zin is lower leveled, I think I'm gonna put Tita in because I feel like she is going to be, I don't know, at least important to some of the side stuff.
Ready?
But the first thing I'm gonna do is take the stuff off Sherazard so I can power up everybody. Okay, so if we're going all over the region to find these wanted monsters, since we're out, why don't we stop at Ravenue Village?
Pretty sure I made this clear on the flight over. We visit Ravenue after we're done with work here in Bose.
You unfeeling clod.
Agate has the right of it, I think. Or would you want to go out and leave our Tita behind?
Alright, gotta bring Tita.
Do you have to agree just because of that?
Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode. Next time, we're gonna explore Bose and do all sorts of fun things. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. This has been Sephiroth1204 with Trails of the Sky 2nd chapter from Butch Games. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.